This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
What if I told you that you are not here by accident? That your life, every moment, every struggle, every victory, is woven into a divine plan greater than you can imagine? Listen to me carefully. This is not just another video. This is a wake-up call, a message you must hear, because if you don't understand God's purpose for your life, you will spend your days wandering, lost in uncertainty, missing the greatness you were meant for. Too many people live without knowing why they are here. They chase success, relationships, and approval, yet inside, they feel empty. Why? Because without God's purpose, life loses meaning. But you don't have to live that way. By the time you finish this video, you will see your life differently. You will feel a shift, a stirring in your spirit, because you will come face to face with the truth. God has called you for something greater. And when you align with that purpose, everything changes. So don't just listen, absorb this message. Watch till the very end, because what I'm about to share could be the turning point you've been praying for. Now, let's begin. Before you took your first breath, God had a plan for you. The purpose specifically designed for your life. You are not here by accident. You are not a random event. You are intentional. But let's clear up a huge misunderstanding. God's purpose for you isn't just about success, wealth, or achieving personal goals. It's bigger than that. It's about spiritual growth. It's about stepping into something greater than yourself, something eternal. Too many people believe that purpose is about finding the right career or making a certain amount of money. But God's purpose is not just about what you do. It's about who you become. He cares more about your character than your comfort, more about your obedience than your achievements. So how do you discover this purpose? Faith, patience, and a willingness to listen. Because God is speaking. The question is, are you truly listening? Maybe you feel lost. Maybe you've tried to force your own plans, only to face frustration and disappointment. Could it be that you've been chasing the wrong thing? Maybe God has been redirecting you, closing certain doors, because He has something far greater waiting. It's time to stop wandering. It's time to lean in and ask, God, what do you want for my life? Because the moment you align with His purpose, not yours, is the moment you will find the peace, direction, and fulfillment you've been searching for. Are you ready to step into it? Faith. It's a word we throw around all the time. But let me ask you, do you really understand what it means? Faith is not just believing in God when things are good. It's trusting Him when everything looks impossible. It's holding on when nothing makes sense. It's saying, God, I trust you, even when I can't see the way forward. This is where many people struggle. They say they believe in God, but the moment life gets uncertain, they start doubting. They want proof. They want signs. But here's the truth. God's plan will not always come with clarity up front. Sometimes He asks you to step forward without showing you the full picture. Think about Abraham. God told him to leave his home and go to a place he had never seen. No map, no details, just a command, go. And Abraham obeyed. Why? Because he trusted God more than he trusted his own understanding. Right now, you may be standing at a crossroads, afraid to move forward because you don't have all the answers. But faith is about walking before the answers come. It's about trusting that if God has called you, He will lead you. So ask yourself, do you really trust Him? Because if you do, it's time to step forward. Even when it's uncertain. Even when it's scary. Even when it doesn't make sense. Because faith is the key that unlocks your purpose. No one likes trials. No one wants to go through struggles. But here's something you need to understand. Your trials are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to prepare you. Look at every great leader in the Bible. Moses, David, Joseph, Paul. None of them walked into their purpose without facing obstacles. Why?
This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Because trials are the training ground for transformation. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely imprisoned. Yet through every trial, God was preparing him for something greater. David was anointed to be king, but before he sat on the throne, he spent years running for his life. Even Jesus, before fulfilling his mission, endured the wilderness, rejection, and suffering. What does this mean for you? It means that the struggles you are facing right now have a purpose. Maybe you feel like everything is falling apart. Maybe you've been asking, God, why is this happening to me? But instead of asking why, Try asking God, what are you preparing me for? Because I promise you, if God is allowing a storm in your life, it's because He's strengthening you for something greater. Think about it. How can you develop faith if you're never tested? How can you learn perseverance if you've never had to endure? God allows challenges to shape you, not to break you. So hold on. Don't quit. Your trial is not the end of your story. It's the preparation for your purpose. Life can feel overwhelming. We're surrounded by challenges, pain, negativity, and distractions pulling us in every direction. But through every struggle, there's one answer: God. Here on Jesus Daily Blessings, I share messages to guide you, uplift you, and remind you of God's promises for your life. If you're searching for answers, hope, or just a reminder of God's love, this is your place. Subscribe to Jesus Daily Blessings and let's walk this faith journey together. If you believe in God, then please like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to God, subscribe to our channel. The greatest transformation in your life will happen when you surrender, when you stop fighting for control and fully place your trust in God's hands. But here's the problem. Most people resist surrender because they see it as weakness. They think, if I let go, I'll lose everything. But that's a lie. Surrender is not losing. It's winning in a way that only God can make possible. Think about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was facing the hardest moment of his life, the moment before the cross. He could have fought. He could have run. But instead, he prayed the most powerful words ever spoken. Not my will, but yours be done. That's surrender. And because of that surrender, salvation was made possible for the entire world. Now, let me ask you, what are you still holding on to? Are you holding on to your own plans instead of trusting God's direction? Are you holding on to past pain, fear, or doubt instead of believing in His promises? Are you holding on to control, afraid that if you fully let go, God won't come through? Listen to me. Surrender is not giving up. It's leveling up. It's stepping into the higher purpose that God has for you. When you finally release your grip, when you say, God, I trust you completely, that's when transformation begins. That's when doors start opening. That's when miracles happen. If you want to step into your God-given purpose, you have to let go of what's been holding you back. It's time to surrender. Knowing God's purpose is one thing. Living it out is another. And that requires obedience. Obedience is what turns faith into action. It's what moves you from just believing in God's plan to actually stepping into it. But here's the truth. Obedience isn't always easy. Think about Noah. God told him to build an ark before it ever rained. Everyone thought he was crazy, but he obeyed. And because of that obedience, he and his family were saved. Now, let's get real. What is God telling you to do that you've been ignoring? Maybe He's been calling you to leave a toxic relationship, but you're afraid of being alone. Maybe He's telling you to step into a new opportunity, but you're scared of failing. Maybe He's been nudging you to spend more time in prayer, but you keep putting it off. Delayed obedience is disobedience. And disobedience doesn't just slow you down, it can block you from walking in God's best for your life. Jonah disobeyed, and he ended up in the belly of a whale. The Israelites disobeyed, and they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Obedience matters. Your purpose depends on it. Listen, God will not force you to follow His plan. It's a choice. And when you choose to obey, even when it's hard, You position yourself for blessings, breakthrough, and purpose. It's time to stop hesitating and start moving. Walk in obedience. Your destiny depends on it. You cannot discover God's purpose for your life without prayer. Period. Prayer is not just about talking to God. It's about aligning your heart with His. It's about listening, surrendering, and receiving direction. Too many people live in spiritual confusion because they don't spend enough time in prayer and meditation. They're looking for answers from the world when the only place they'll find truth is in God's presence. Ask yourself this: how much time do you actually spend seeking God? Do you start your day with prayer or just rush into your routine? Do you take time to read His Word, or do you just scroll through social media? Do you listen for His voice, or are you too distracted by the noise around you? If you're struggling to find clarity in your life, this is why. God speaks to those who seek Him. But you have to be intentional. 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." That means when you're in God's presence, when you're meditating on His Word, you will have direction. But when you're disconnected, you will feel loss. If you want God's purpose, you need God's presence. That means making prayer a non-negotiable part of your life. Because when you seek Him, He will guide you. Every time. Let's be real. Waiting is hard. When you have a vision, a calling, or a dream, the last thing you want to do is wait. But here's the truth. God's timing is perfect. And just because something isn't happening right now doesn't mean it never will. Look at Joseph. God gave him a dream at 17, but he didn't step into his destiny until he was 30. 13 years of waiting, suffering, and being faithful in the small things before he became a leader. Look at David. He was anointed king as a teenager but didn't take the throne until years later. Why? Because God was preparing him. Right now, you might feel like you're in a season of waiting. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough, a relationship, a career opportunity, and it feels like God is silent. But He's not ignoring you. He's preparing you. The waiting season is not a wasted season. It's where God is strengthening you, shaping you, and getting you ready for what's next. Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength." That means while you wait, God is making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared. So don't rush the process. Trust the timing. Because when God moves, it will be worth every second of waiting. Fear, doubt, uncertainty. These are the very things holding you back from stepping into God's purpose for your life. And if you don't learn how to overcome them, they will control you. But let me tell you something powerful. Fear is a liar. It whispers, "You're not good enough." It says, "You don't have what it takes." It makes you believe God has forgotten about you. But none of that is true. God has not given you a spirit of fear. He has given you power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. That means the fear you feel is not from Him. It's from the enemy, trying to keep you from your destiny. Let's be real. Doubt and fear are natural. Even the greatest men and women of faith struggled with them. Moses doubted himself and told God, "I can't speak well." But God used him anyway. Gideon saw himself as the weakest in his tribe, yet God called him a mighty warrior. Peter walked on water, but the moment he let fear take over, he started sinking. Do you see the pattern? Fear only has power when you believe it. But when you trust God instead, miracles happen. What are you afraid of? Failure, judgment, the unknown. Whatever it is, it's time to let it go. God is calling you to something greater, but you have to step out in faith. Stop waiting for everything to feel safe and comfortable. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward despite it. If you want to walk in God's purpose, you have to replace fear with faith. Declare today, I will not let fear stop me. I will trust in God's plan. Because the moment you do, you step into power, purpose, and divine destiny. Your purpose is not just about you. God's plan for your life is bigger than your personal success. It's about impact, influence, changing lives. You were created to be a light in this world, to inspire, to lead, to lift others up. But if you're only focused on your own blessings, your own struggles, your own goals, you're missing the bigger picture. Jesus didn't come to be served. He came to serve. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, comforted the broken. And if you want to walk in His purpose, you must do the same. Ask yourself, how am I impacting others? Are you using your gifts to help people or just to build yourself up? Are you spreading God's love or just looking for validation from the world? Are you making a difference or just existing? The truth is, your greatest purpose is found in serving others. Think about the people who have influenced you the most. Was it their success that impacted you? No. It was their kindness, their wisdom, their willingness to help when no one else would. You can be that person for someone else. When you start living with the mindset of how can I bless others today, you step into true purpose. God will open doors for you, not just so you can be blessed, but so you can be a blessing. This is what living in purpose looks like. Not just existing, but making an impact. Not just receiving, but giving. Not just being blessed, but being a blessing. So today, make a decision. Live not just for yourself, but for God's greater plan. Because when you do, your life will change, and so will the lives of those around you. God's purpose for your life isn't a one-time event. It's not something you figure out in a single moment, and then it's done. It's a lifelong journey. That means you will never stop growing, never stop learning, never stop being transformed. So don't get discouraged if you don't have all the answers yet. None of us do. Even the strongest believers are still learning, still trusting, still being refined by God. The key is this: stay faithful. Keep seeking. Keep growing. Look at the apostles. They didn't figure everything out overnight. Peter, even after walking with Jesus, still made mistakes. Paul, even after receiving his calling, still faced trials. But they never stopped moving forward. And that's what you must do. When life gets hard, keep seeking God. When you feel lost, stay in prayer. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of His promises. When you fall, get back up. Because God isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for progress. He's looking for hearts that are willing to follow Him, even when it's hard. Your transformation is ongoing. Every single day, you are being shaped into the person God created you to be. Every challenge, every lesson, every victory, it's all part of your growth. So, don't give up. Don't think that because you're still struggling, you fail. You are in the process. And the process is necessary. Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work, and you will carry it unto completion." That means God isn't finished with you yet. So keep going. Keep trusting. Keep walking in faith. Because your journey is far from over. It's only just beginning. This is your wake-up call. Your divine transformation. Now that you know God has a purpose for you, what are you going to do about it? Will you let fear stop you? Or will you step out in faith? Will you keep chasing your own plans? Or will you surrender to God's? Will you live for yourself? Or will you live to impact others? The choice is yours. But if you want to experience true transformation, if you want to see God's power work in your life, you must take action. So here's what I want you to do. Drop "I am ready" in the comments if you're committing to walk in God's purpose. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Spend time in prayer today. Ask God, what do you want me to do next? Because when you seek Him, He will guide you. When you step out in faith, He will equip you. And when you trust in His plan, He will transform your life. Now go. Step boldly into your calling. Your purpose is waiting. Amen. If you believe in God, then please like this video and leave a heartfelt Amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to God, subscribe to our channel